basics booking training. It looks like this, and you can find this on the Top Bananas site, and that is www.unitnet.com/topbananas. If you go on there under the training center, you should be able to pull up under the basics. There should be a training on booking, and so you can just follow right along with this training because it sort of follows along. I'm not going to read it verbatim because certainly you can do that by yourself. You're an adult and capable of doing that. Instead, I'm going to just skim through this and expand on things and give you some examples that you can kind of just take and run with. And you can rewind this and play it as many times as you need to for whatever helps you to feel like you're confident on the phone whenever you start your booking. Now, Mary Kay always said that booking is the lifeline of our business, and I find that to be 100% true. If you're a seasoned consultant who's been in the business a while, you know what it feels like to have an empty date book and you go, oh, I just have to get some bookings. And so you do. You need to keep bookings on your books all the time or else you won't be making money. You'll just be kind of squeezing it out of those reorders from your previous customers. And likewise, if you're a brand new consultant, keeping your books full from the beginning is so much easier because you build a momentum. And so I'd really recommend that you make your list of all the people that you could possibly in a million years ask to do a facial with you. Don't worry about whether they'd say yes. Don't worry about if they like the product. It doesn't matter if they wear makeup. They have skin. And that's what we sell really is our skincare more than anything. So start with your list and then you're going to start booking them. And what I recommend in the beginning is that you ask them if you can facial them first. So there's a couple ways that we do that. One is you can have a kickoff or a grand opening or a new consultant debut, whatever you call it, it's all the same thing. And you can invite all those people to that debut. And when you do, and I come out and help you with it, or your senior consultant comes to help you with it, then you will be able to facial those women at that debut or grand opening. And then you can, from there, your director or senior consultant will help you to book them for parties. And now the reason for that is that they become a much better customer and a better hostess for you. They've been introduced to the product. They've fallen in love with it, most likely. They now will be willing to do things they wouldn't have done before to get free stuff. And namely, we want to meet their friends. And so maybe they'll go a little bit of an extra mile and help you out in your business and get free products for themselves by hosting a party. If you have someone be a hostess without facialing them first, sometimes it can set you up for failure because the women that are associated with that person, her friends that you get to meet, they will listen to her more than they'll listen to you. So if she's already sold on the product, she'll sell it for you. But if she's not sold on it, she could sometimes say things that could help you to sell less instead of selling more. And of course, we want you to sell as much as possible and to be able to meet the needs of the women that are there. So by starting with a facial, it really helps you to develop that customer into a better customer and a better hostess and eventually a better recruit because she's going to see that this is the process that typically consultants go through with their hostesses. So I would encourage you to start that list. Even if you've been in a long time, write down your list. If you were getting married tomorrow and you had an unlimited budget and you could invite anyone you wanted to, who would be on that list? And start calling them. What I would say to them whenever you call is I would definitely use a script. And there is a script in this booking training that I think is great. It's one that I've used for years. I'm always in a contest of some sort, whether it's a challenge to do 30 faces or a challenge to do a power start, well, that is a power start, whatever the different challenges are that you might be in. That seems to help people kind of connect to you a little bit more and want to help you. Women won't do things for themselves, but they'll do things to help you. And it's not that we want to take advantage of that. It's just more, she deserves to sit down with you and get pampered and learn about your products. And if that means that we need to ask her to help us to get that to happen, that's what we have to do. So this is the script that I use, and I still use it, and I've used it for years. And it might seem unnatural at first, but if you don't try it, it will never seem natural. So you just have to try it. You could try calling yourself first on your voicemail, leave a message, and see how convincing you are. You might want to call me and role play, and I will help you kind of develop the different parts that I think may be holding you back. Or you can just try to first book your husband or book another consultant, whatever works for you. So this is the script that I've used for years, and I'll just pretend that I'm on the phone because I don't have a phone here to talk on. And I'll just say, call my friend or my relative or whoever it is that I'm calling. This is someone that I already know. And I say, hi, Susan. Hey, this is Shanna Scordo. How are you doing? Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Hey, I'm sure you're busy, but do you just have a quick minute to talk? Okay, great. Well, first, did you hear that I decided to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant? Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy, but I'm so excited. It's pretty cool. Well, my director challenged me to facial 30 women in my first 30 days in business to get practice, and I'm kind of nervous about it, and I was wondering if you'd let me borrow your face. Oh, you will? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my goodness, that will help me so much to get practice. You know, if you want to have a friend there, you're more than welcome to if it makes you feel a little more comfortable. But honestly, just borrowing your face is just going to mean the world to me. Oh, that'll be great. When can we get together here? Are you free this week? What's less busy for you, during the week or on the weekend? Okay, so this week's pretty busy. Okay, well, what about next week? Do you think the weekend or the week will be less crazy? Okay, well, I have Wednesday and Thursday open, and I really don't want to let too many days slip by because I'm just trying to get these faces in so I can complete my challenge, and I get to win a really pretty sparkly pin when I do it. Yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, so next Wednesday, do you think we could squeeze it in? Only take about 45 minutes. How about 6 p.m. next Wednesday? I have 6 or I have 7? 6? Oh, great. Okay, I'll go ahead and pencil you in for that. And you know what? Why don't you just check your calendar in the meantime? And then I'll give you a call back tomorrow night if that's okay with you, and you can just let me know if that still works. Okay, great. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye. Okay, I know it's a little silly to see me sitting here role-playing, but I want you to see that it's silly, but we do it, and it's important. And I do that myself, sitting at a desk before I make an important phone call. There's a couple things that I want you to note that were important in that script that I just used. The first one is I didn't spend a lot of time chit-chatting at the beginning of the conversation. She's going to know when you're dragging it out because you want to ask her something. Just get it out and over with. Just ask her at the beginning, do you have a minute to talk? And then hold true to your word. Keep it to a minute. Now, if at the end she starts asking you about your family or you feel like you need to ask about something going on in her life, by all means do that. But get the booking out of the way first. So that's the first thing to know. Don't drag it out too long. The second thing is, did you notice that when I said, I'm really nervous about it and I'm excited, but it's kind of crazy. Can I borrow your face? And then I was quiet. Being quiet is so important. Otherwise, we can talk them into booking and then talk them right back out of it. So just learn to just whoop, close the mouth. And I honestly would do that on the phone too. I would ask, can I borrow your face? And then I would sit there and wait. Whatever you have to do to get yourself to stop talking at that point, just do it. Then once she gives you her answer, it might be a little bit of an uncomfortable silence. Just know in your heart that when she sits down with you, she'll enjoy herself. Whenever you believe that in your heart, you won't feel like you're pushing it all. You'll just feel like you're offering her something. Now, if in this situation she said sure, she'll let me borrow her face. And so I went right into tentative booking mode. Because here's what happens. We hit a lot of friends. We find a lot of friends who will help us, but we don't ever get to set a date with them, and then we get very frustrated and they get frustrated. The best thing you can do to prevent that is to do tentative booking approach. If, say, whatever she had said to me on that conversation, whether she didn't have her calendar, she wasn't sure because, things were busy with the kids next week, she wanted to get together with me, but she didn't know her work schedule, whatever it was, I would say, there's a couple different things you could say. One is, let's just set a tentative date and you can check on it, and then we can talk in a couple days and make sure that works for both of us. Or a lot of times what I say is, hey, I know you don't have your calendar, that's okay. I just have a couple times available and make it a little easier for you. How about if I give you some dates and you can check on them? And usually they'll say yes to that. So I'll look through my calendar and I have to narrow it down. Because if you've ever called a doctor's office, they usually give you dates to choose from. One time I called my dentist's office and they didn't give me any dates. They said, when do you want to come in? And I went, I don't know. You're paralyzed with indecision because there's 30 days in a month to choose from. If you narrow it down and you say it has to be this week or it has to be this time frame, then it becomes a lot easier for a person to make a decision. So make it easy on her and say, are you free next week? Is the weekend busier for you or are the weeks crazier? Is it better in the daytime or the evening? Is 6 o'clock or 7:30 better? And to do yourself a favor and do her a favor, have your schedule figured out before that. That's whenever you want to open up your calendar and go through and mark it. I square off the areas with yellow highlighter where I'm willing to work my business and do parties and facials. So I would suggest you do that as well. It makes it a lot more efficient. You can open it up and you can say, anywhere in yellow, you can book with me.